Guys, this is Bobby Okereke, linebacker with the Indianapolis Colts. Make sure you follow my guys at the Anvil, best sports talk podcast going on with Colts right now. Tune in.
It seems like a Sunday, like anyone before. That's what you think. So you open up the door, you feel the buzz, you can hear the people singing battle cries. Lucas Oil Stadium's about to come alive. Blue and white jerseys, some old and some new, all gather round South Capitol Avenue. They come for the tailgate, some drive and some buy. Colts fans show up with fire in their eyes, yelling, "Go Host, go Big Blue!" We're in the stands, the tried and true, here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation, the Colts Nation. We take this very serious, it is not a joke. We're back, all the players, we're back in it, coach. We scream and we root, we raise up our fist to support this team from Indianapolis. Go Host, go Big Blue, we're in the stands cheering for you, here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation, the Colts Nation, Colts Nation. Screaming, "Go Host, go Big Blue!" We're in the stands, the tried and true, here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation, yeah, Colts Nation, that Colts Nation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, millions in attendance. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Anvil Show with Big Country, Clyde, the airplane monster,
What?
and Big P. Well, your screen's blacked out, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it threw me off when I looked up.
Is it still black? I
black.
see myself. Oh wow. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, we can
I don't
hear
know. I don't know what happened. I had a signal and a
Now I can't
And he's
hear
gone.
him.
Now he's gone.
Like, subscribe.
There he is.
Oh, he's back.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You know what it is. Bang that bitch. All right, let's jump right into it because as you can see, I'm on the plane and it's filling up pretty quickly.
We can't see nothing, sir. You're black
Oh.
screened. But we
Still
can
black
hear you.
screen?
Yeah,
Alright.
don't worry about that. We can hear you.
Well, I mean, the Anvil fans know no matter where I am, I'm going to be on location. So right now, currently, I'm on an airplane. But I like to start the show with saying I am sorry I missed our first inaugural tailgate, but I heard it was freaking awesome. So clap yourself up, boys. Good job. As country takes a bite of something.
My dinner.
So tailgate number 2 this week, I will be there versus the Titans. So I will gladly like to get out and meet everyone and bang the anvil with everybody. So to get this right, the guy that's doing the music, he's going to be there this week, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Mr. Eric Hamblin from the lead singer and I don't know how everything else, but from south of 44.
Does he know you his biggest fanboy?
He might. He just might.
Oh my God. All right, well, we're going to have to thank him for making us a song. That's pretty awesome. I don't know any other podcasts that got their own official song, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's not a bad song either, I don't think.
See if he can remix it in there with the Anvil somehow. What do you think about that?
Oh, we can do it.
That'd be pretty cool.
We can try something.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, P, cue up the topics. Let's go ahead and break down Kansas City before I take off. All right, we want to start good, bad, or indifferent tonight.
Let's start with the bad because we ended good.
All right, the bad. More slow starts, more turnovers, more missed blocking,
More
O-line,
sacks.
more sacks, not a lot of pressure, some gaps on defense that were left open in the secondary, and last but not least, some still very questionable play calling. Whether that's fourth down or just third down leading up to fourth down or just situationals. And who are we? Because we are just fans doing fan things. But just watching it, it can be very difficult not understanding why you're going to have Jonathan Taylor do something like a 5-yard leap on fourth down when he should have ran it, second and third down. Not understanding that, but
Nick, do you think that was a JT call or do you think that was play designed?
no, that was the call.
For him to make that leap?
Yeah. Let him be an athlete. That's probably the call. However, the issue is what's leading up to that, right? And I'm not sure I'm okay with what's leading up with that. I mean, it's a lot of those situational plays that just don't make sense. It just doesn't add up to me. If it's already in, and this goes back to Country's point last week. If it comes back to analytics, and we know how Frank looks at analytics, then he's already marked his card. I'm going for it on fourth down based on where he is on the field. So all I'm saying is instead of running these screen passes, how many failed screen passes did we do, boys, on Sunday? I count at least 5.
That's what I was getting ready to say. At least 5 or 6.
I don't even understand
screen passes. I mean, in the scenario of it too was like, at the time it was like there's some third and longs. Like, why?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm just, again, who are we, right? We're nobody as far as understanding what it's like to be in an NFL game, calling it. But our line is not doing a great job of just staying on blocks in front of them. So to think that they can get out and get to the edge and make these blocks, it's kind of asinine right now. I'm not understanding that. That's not a good play call for us right now.
I don't either. I was really looking into our O-line, and we definitely got some troubles there.
Yeah.
We're not getting what we are paying for, that's for sure. But you take Jacksonville.
Good evening, folks.
What'd they do to us?
Glad to have you.
2-step drop, 3-step drop, boom, it's gone. So pressure wasn't an issue because the ball was out of the quarterback's hands so quickly. Why haven't we adopted this knowing how much struggle we've had with our offensive line?
Other than it just being, I'm sorry, go ahead, Country. I got a delay, my bad.
No. You sure you got a delay? You good?
Yeah, go ahead, boss.
Okay. I was just going to say maybe it's the inexperienced receiver that we have. Maybe they're a little gun shy, running their routes, making sure they please Matty Ice, and running their routes correctly, maybe it's just a lot of headwind.
Okay, I could almost accept that, but these guys can catch the ball.
They can.
You're just catching it sooner. That's it.
What I'm saying. They're so young, they don't have their confidence yet. That's just my opinion.
So it's better to get Matty Ice smeared?
No, that's not the answer at all. It's just, again, it's with the inconsistencies. It's part of it.
I feel like this. I've watched Frank now for 5 years, and I feel like what he does, he plays very much quarter season football. So this is still the very first quarter of the season. I feel like there's still a lot of plays that are getting ironed out that has to be seen in game time experience. And then by the time we get mid-season or beyond, we know our core plays, and I think we'll adapt to that. I mean, you can just take how much better JT got last year, about game 4 going forward, right? Because remember the call was at first like we wasn't getting him the ball enough. Remember that?
Yeah.
The first month of the season, everybody's like, "Yo, he's not touching the ball. We're doing all this passing." But I
Run the
think at
damn
that
ball.
point,
Run the damn
right, right.
ball.
But I think last year's situation was the fact that him and Carson Wentz already had some chemistry, and they were trying to iron out, hey, look, does that stuff work? The stuff that we ran in Philly, will it work here? But then, of course, we went back to our horse, and he proved that he's probably the best offensive player in the league. So I say all that to say, I feel like right now, Frank probably has thousands of plays that he only has, 50 to 60 opportunities to run each game, and he's trying to work all that out over this course of this first quarter of the season. So I think you'll see some of that quick adaptation because we know Matty can get it out. Matt's also going to be vocal. Like he's fumbled the ball 7 times. 2 of those fumbles are his fault. Just 2, where he was like, what I mean, he dropped them under center. That was in week 1. But these other 5 blindside hits, bro. You know what I mean? So actually, I give him one other than one that was his because he kind of scrambled out and was just kind of loose out there and didn't have any kind of situational awareness. But some of these are like, I mean, I take Pinter. Pinter got destroyed by Chris Jones in like the
Mm-hmm.
third quarter. Did you see that? I mean,
Oh,
flattened on his back.
absolutely.
Everybody's seen that.
Oh my
Everybody's seen it.
God.
I mean, he straight up just made Danny Pinter his bitch in a way. I mean, he just completely dominated the line of scrimmage.
That was embarrassing, bro. That was like supremely embarrassing. So Maddie's gonna speak up. Maddie's gonna get in some ass, and I feel like they are gonna have to adapt. And they have not even established who this line is gonna be, whether it's gonna be Raymond or Pryor. And I'm promising you, a couple more plays like that Pinter play, and Pinter ain't gonna be playing. It's either gonna be Fries or they're gonna look to bring in some veteran off the street, like kind of how we found Glowinski a few years back. Like, and I know people was like, oh, we shouldn't get rid of Glow, but hell, if you watch Monday Night Football, Glow got destroyed too, same manner. So,
Mm-hmm. He
I
did.
mean, we seen that he was kind of declining last year, so I don't think he would have been the answer. Though he would have still had chemistry with the boys because that would have been his 4th year with them, I believe. But still, like his play had started to decline, hence Pinter playing a lot more last year. So I say all that to say there's still some things to iron out. I'm actually not too upset with the receivers because they made some critical plays. Would I like to see them involved sooner? Sure. But they made some critical plays, man. Hands catches. There's some tough catches that was made out there. And I don't want to see Matt throwing the ball 60 times like he did a couple weeks back, right? So we got to find that good happy medium. JT ran it 20 times for 70 yards. We would like to see more production there. But again, I feel like it's really just trying to figure out what the plays look like, going forward, and then what the core of this offensive line looks like. And that's gonna prove itself by the second half of the season at the latest. And that's just a while to wait.
Here's a little stat for you. Third downs. We were 6 for 15 and converting third downs. That is horrible.
That's
Not good.
terrible.
We were 1 for 3 on 4th down conversions.
Yeah.
What?
It's about the same in Jacksonville as far as third downs, if not worse. And first
Yeah.
downs in Jacksonville were like far and in between. I can't remember how many of those we had. We might have had 5 first downs or something the whole game. It was ridiculous. So
And Matt Ryan's pass attempts to completion was he attempted 37 and he completed 27.
okay, again, not bad.
Not horrible, but I expected more from Matty Ice.
Yeah, I mean he's
I'm
under
not gonna
pressure,
lie.
man. I mean, ice will melt under heat. So when you getting heated up,
Oh yeah.
Bruh.
Well, we got 1 sack for a negative 5 yards.
they had 5.
Kansas City had 5 sacks for 45 negative yards.
Yeah, Spagnuolo, but he's known for that, right? He's gonna heat you up. And that's exactly what he did. He's been doing that since the days he was in the Giants when he first really came on the scene when they heated up Brady in the Super Bowl all those years back. So, one thing we're gonna have to do going forward is a lot of calls are being blown by like critical players. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but Ryan Kelly, aren't you a Pro Bowler, bro? You can't be missing like 8 gap blitzes. Like, what are we doing
Once
here?
again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Several
Welcome aboard
times.
American Airlines.
Doesn't make sense. You know what
You
I'm
need
saying?
to tell that airplane pilot to hush up. We're doing a show here. He hushed him up. Absolutely. And what? Well, he's on the line. Let's we'll try to tackle this, Ricky. Frank's still calling the plays.
Yep.
And strip back a few layers, the plays he calls aren't as horrible as everyone thinks, but it's the execution of those plays that get it. Now, the screens wasn't there. Why did you keep going back to it? That's definitely on him. That run with JT, somebody else made a comment that they got pushed, the entire line got pushed back. Yeah, Brent, causing JT to have to make the leap.
And contact a crew member.
Yeah, it's a lot of help and support being I guess focused on certain areas of the line. And I'm seeing Quentin doing a lot of double teaming, Ryan Kelly's doing a lot of double teaming, but when that happens, A gaps are wide open. And that blitz really killed me. I'm like, bro, you've seen the man line up over the ball. And I know the call, but I mean, at least got to chip the guy because there's no help back there. JT is on the edge, and then they flip it and go the opposite edge and blitz off the end with the corner and damn near tear Ryan's chest off. I'm like, how are y'all missing this, bro? This is crazy. I don't know.
I will say this with the play call. They definitely got Naheem Hines, finally, moving the ball a little bit, and he was successful in a couple of them screen passes that was to him. So, kudos to him to finally, showing out a little bit. But I mean, I just seen going back to the O-line, I seen where Frank was saying, the O-line's where it needs to be. And it's just, that's what I'm saying. He's accepting what it is. We don't need to accept that right now. We don't need to accept nothing that's damn near close to perfect.
So what do you think? What? Go ahead, Clyde.
No, if I hold my and hard work and we're banging a hammer on steel and all that, then you got to have that same grit when you're talking to players. And I know you don't want to have any kind of negative chemistry, but sometimes you need a kick in the ass. The line is nowhere near where it needs to be, either side of it. I mean, the defensive line, don't get me wrong, they're working their tails off, bro, but y'all are getting no consistent pressure. None. Y'all don't have a lot of discipline right now. O-line looks lost at times. Like, what's the call? Like, I don't know. That's how it looks sometimes. So JT is making every attempt to break the runs he broke last year, but there's literally no gaps, no holes, nowhere for him to run. So a lot of his runs are kind of, like 2 yards, 3 yards. Every now and then he'll get a 4 to 5 yarder. But this guy averages 5 yards a carry plus for his career. We have to remember that. So where is this consistency that he's been used to for the last 2 years? It ain't there right now. That's a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, I think his best run of the night was an 18-yard carry on that 2nd and 20, where it got us to 3rd and 2, which I believe it led up to that Chris Jones incident with Matt Ryan, I think.
Yeah, that might have been it. Yeah. I don't know, boys. But okay, boys, I think I'm about to take off, man. So y'all guys kill it. Preview Tennessee. Be unapologetic in all you say about Tennessee. That's not our favorite team to talk about. I will say I hope we win by 30, but it'll probably be a grind out nail biter. It always is. But yeah, man. Just my last thoughts on the KC game is, despite all that, what they didn't show was the ability to close in week 1, hence the tie. And what they didn't show a lot of in week 2 was, let's just find a way to move the sticks, get points, and they did that in this game. It looked bleak several times, but they figured it out. So a win is a win, and we won 1-1. That's how I close it. That's better than 0-3 or 0-2-1, right?
Oh, we'll take it.
Absolutely. All right, boys. Love y'all. I'll text you when I get down.
All right. Love you, man. Safe
Godspeed,
travels.
brother.
All right, man.
All right. Well, since you got any more, of the bad side of the offense that you want to talk about, P, or do you want to move on to some of the positives?
No, that was pretty much it. Those were just some alarming stats that I was digging into, and pretty tough.
Once those numbers come out, it's kind of scary to watch, but it's just like, you just got to take a deep breath and hopefully they can figure it out. I mean, like I was just saying, Frank's saying the line's where it needs to be. It's not. It's absolutely not.
Yeah, because I think it was even Zach Kiefer that asked him the question if there was any changes in the foreseeable future with the O-line, and he just flat says no. I'm like,
dude,
there's only two reasons you say no. One is you're not going to change anything, or two, you don't have nothing to change to. Now, what is it? I don't know, but
I need the bruh button right now, bruh.
Yeah.
But no, the biggest thing in practice this week, I think we just need to concentrate on offensive line, pass blocking. We got to execute. We got to stay consistent. Like Clive was saying, you got to have that grit, and we're not showing grit right now. We're actually playing scared. We're playing to survive. Even though we got the W over KC, we're playing to survive, and that's exactly what we did. Even though we showed some redemption, and I was, you see me at the game, I was happy as all get out. But the realistic thing was, we got to be ruthless from here on out.
Realistically, there's a lot of shit that this team's got to clean up that I didn't see in OTAs. I didn't see in training camp.
I know that's the weird part. It's like we've seen an elite group of men coming together, the talent showing up at training camp and OTAs, but then it came game time. It's like, where'd that go?
Yeah. Chris, to answer your question, I have no clue if Shaq's going to play this week or not. I haven't read any reports. He's at practice. They got him listed as practicing, but that doesn't mean he's going to dress.
He's full participating, and he said at the beginning of that full participation, I think at week 1 when they allowed him to start practicing again, Chris, it's going to be week to week. And even though he says he feels better, the team doctor, I'm thinking it is, or his specialist, is, waiting for him. They're waiting for their word to say when he's good to go. So it's a week-to-week basis. It'll probably be more likely it'll probably be a game time or a day before decision, depending on which week that might be.
So there you go. All right, Country, anything else you want to add to this Kansas City game?
Just we can add some of the positives real quick. The catches and stuff the receivers did make, were miraculous catches. Alec Pierce showed up. MPJ was there when we needed him to be. When absolutely we need someone to lean on, he was there to make some spectacular, first down plays for us to move the ball, move the chains. Let's see what else. JT had that one good run. He still couldn't get off, but he still moved the ball for us. Let's see what else.
And a lot of his runs, man, he was only a step or two away from hitting green pastures.
Oh, every time. But but going to the defensive side of the ball, that's actually where some play calling was actually executed very well. The defense is starting to step into their fill in their shoes really well, I believe, under Gus Bradley. He's starting to really complicate these schemes, and they're falling, deeply into them, which I love. They're starting to show that aggressive defense that we thought they could be. The defensive line actually mauled, Kansas City's offensive line. We got penetration every time. We hurried Mahomes every time, and that's what you need to do against a mobile quarterback like him. You got to just keep him under pressure. You got to frustrate him. That's the only way you're going to beat him. You got to frustrate him, and that's what we did.
But we didn't contain him, and that was scary.
It was. That goes to our, our edges again. Even though Yannick, he got that sack, and he rushed him a couple times, but we're still not containing on the outside, and that's what we got. We go face these mobile quarterbacks. We got to make sure that we can do that. And, we got the speed. I know Yannick's fast. Queedy's fast. Bobby's fast. And Zaire's definitely fast. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too. What about Zaire? I was gonna say, what about Zaire, man? Holy shit!
He leads the team in tackles right now.
I know the man's just all over the ball, man. I love it, absolutely love it. But kudos to him, being the captain that he is. The secondary, real quick. Stephon Gilmore had a slow start, but then, he had some good key plays. Isaiah Rodgers, they said put him in. They put him in, and he showed up like he always has. Kenny Moore had some good plays. I mean, it's there. The play calling's finally there on defense. We're finally executing the plays, and and it's only going to grow and get better from here on the defensive side of the ball. And special teams, all three phases, going to the special teams. I mean, they executed well. Two good punts, and and McLaughlin, had two good kicks. That 51-yarder was good. I mean, you could have. I mean, just tweaking it could have a little bit more loft on the ball, But hey, that's just me. But other than that was the KC game for me.
And I'm going to stick with everything you just said. Those are my thoughts exactly. Get the containment in. You can't let those mobile quarterbacks out of the pocket. You just can't do it. And statistically, Mahomes is better outside of the pocket than he is inside the pocket. So quarterback like that, you got to keep him contained. I would have liked to see Nick Cross play a little bit more, but I understand why the switch to McLeod.
Yep.
Because Gus Bradley was saying, he understood the schemes and the communication better than Nick did.
Yep.
So, right call. Yeah, because we won and he intercepted on that last drive.
And I mean, we actually had the privilege of meeting Gus at the end of the game. That was pretty fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was awesome. But
yeah, he's a super nice guy.
We're gonna rely on Nick for many years to come.
I mean, he's our future Bob Sanders, bro.
Yeah, so you're going to have to keep him in there. You're going to have to get him up to whatever speed you want him to, whatever communication level you want him to, whatever scheme you want him to. And the best way to do that is just throw his ass into the wolves.
Yep.
So that I definitely would like to see that. Other than that, yeah, I thought defensively to hold Patrick Mahomes to 17 points, you don't have to say more than that.
Exactly. I mean, we held him good, except, the containment on the outside. But, praise to our defense. They stepped up when we needed them to and won us the game.
Absolutely.
All right, P, if you don't have nothing else, we'll move on to Tennessee.
Let's go to Tennessee.
All right. The Music City is coming to Naptown. So, P, what's some of your keys to victory here? You want to start us off with that?
Well, I'm going to say trenches.
Well, obviously.
Especially with Derrick Henry running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You better have somebody eyeballing him the whole time. You better have gap protection, and you better shut it down. Or Derrick Henry will run all over the damn place.
Absolutely.
Now, I've seen games where they acted like they were going to run the shit out of Henry, and they ran their other back. I forget his name.
I do too.
But he absolutely destroyed us because we weren't ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Tannehill can beat us through the air alone.
Mm-hmm.
So just not giving up that middle of the field, slowing Henry down, and not falling for any of the trickery that old boy likes to do. Coach's name, Grable.
Yeah.
Grable loves to do that trickery shit.
Mm-hmm. He does, especially when the thing he leans on the most isn't working. That's what I've noticed he starts using them trick plays. It's when he tries to break up his traditional play calling by doing that, and it's not working.
All right, we're getting yelled at.
He's the victory. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing, Clyde.
I mean, is the high altitude already getting to your head or what?
Tell him to turn the oxygen back on in the cabin.
But it's this. I mean, everyone's praising our defensive line. This is going to be one of our true tests. Even though Derrick Henry has not really showed up so far this year, we not heard his name a whole lot. But that does not mean that we can take that lightly. He's still
No,
Derrick
absolutely
Henry.
not.
He's still Derrick Henry.
JT's only got one touchdown this year. Are you going to take him lightly?
Exactly.
You can't.
You absolutely can't.
Craig, I think it's going to be under.
It's definitely going to be under. It's gonna be like this
Hilliard.
KC game. It's gonna be tight.
Thank you, Clyde.
Hilliard, yeah, oh gosh,
yeah, he ate us up last year.
Yes, he did. But I mean, he's more like that little spry quarterback. He's not your power back like Derrick Henry is. He just can't maul people. But
Omaha,
coming from the guy who has a late flight, listen, enjoy your peanuts, okay? But yeah, so this is definitely gonna be a test for our defense this week.
He gets steak. The Air Force has got him on a private jet.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That's an important government official there.
Rick says, I say run the damn ball and then go to the screens. Rick, I mean, my personal opinion about screens in the NFL, I don't think they work as well. You might be able to get one or two off every now and again, depending on the situation. But I mean, I just don't agree with screens, especially how this team, this Indianapolis Colts team, is playing this year. So, run the damn ball, absolutely. Run it until that play action opens up and let Matt Ryan just ice him down. So, we'll see what happens.
The thing is, screens are very effective if the defense bites. But if the defense isn't biting, I think you need to have that check down person on the opposite side of the field to where you got a one-on-one matchup. Because most of those screens, the quarterback is rolling out to the left or to the right, and that's where he's dumping the ball. So that's where everybody is going towards. If he sees that the defense didn't bite and they're collapsing down on your guy, man, just wing it back over the fucking field. Yeah, give that one receiver a one-on-one opportunity and maybe get some yards.
That's just where, heavy film study is going to come into play. Really keep an eye on that secondary, that linebacker core of your opposing team to see how these screens are going to work. Because, I mean, if you got fast players and quick-eyed players, the screens ain't going to work. If they got good pursuit of the ball, it ain't going to work. But like you said, that's if they're not expecting it. Hopefully they don't expect it. But this is the NFL. It's faster too. So you got to take a lot of things into play. It's a lot of physics.
Yeah. And Craig, I don't want to give you an answer here because if I'm wrong, you're going to want me to pay you back. But you can go with JT or Michael Pittman Jr. Would not be a bad bet there.
I mean, you could go with Jelani Woods too.
Or you can go with Jelani Woods.
Well, look here, everybody. We are joined by Mr. CJ.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Again, I apologize coming in late. Everybody, I was doing schoolwork. I'm not going to lie. I was doing schoolwork, and I'm not done with it. But I decided to slide in, check in on everybody, see how the Anvil is doing. Oh, man. So right now, I see the topic. We are talking about the preview of the Titans game.
So, yeah, you want to go ahead and give us your keys to victory on your behalf, Carvey?
Contain Derrick Henry. If we contain him, we don't have to worry about Tannehill running all over the place like Patrick Mahomes. But if we contain Derrick Henry and our defensive back is really staying with doing their assignments, we'll be pretty good. Blocking right now. We need to block. Craig, shut up, man.
That's funny.
Our left tackle, we got to do better on our blocking. I mean, Matt Ryan came here because we had the best offensive line for the last couple of years, and now we are like, doing terrible. So I'll say right now, blocking. That's the big thing. And I like our wide receivers. Pierce, he started doing something last week. Of course, MPJ doing his thing. But we need, Jelani Woods doing his thing. So we just need other players to step up. That's all.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is going to be I was telling Big P before you hopped on, Carver, this is definitely going to be a big defensive game for us. All three of us have agreed to contain Derrick Henry and keep him, just held back from releasing himself. But let's talk about offense for a second. The key to victory on offensive side of the ball is, like you said, Carver, blocking and just staying consistent, and execute.
And,
Don't let up. Do not play conservative.
I also want to add, people, if you are at the game and our offense aren't playing, be quiet.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
But-
it was so loud, and it's like, listen, y'all, Colts Nation, let's listen up for a second. Public service announcement. I got to put you on blast for a second. I do, okay. You all are, predecessors to the Peyton Manning era. You know what that man did in Indianapolis. He asked for quiet. Still respect what he does. Every offense needs quiet in their home stadium. Everybody needs to be quiet so they can listen, they can communicate better. Because guess what? Part of that inconsistency is if they can't hear the play calls and they can't hear the audibles, the play ain't going to get executed. And guess what? You're going to get mad at them for playing bad. You're going to be complaining on social media 2 days later.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it down when the offense has the ball. Just saying.
Rick, we are working on a couple players right now. Timing always has to work out for us and them. But we talked with Julian Blackman and Kylan Granson this weekend. So we're working on it, brother.
Yeah.
It's just during season, it is crazy tough to get them because they stay so busy with practice. When they get done with practice, they're in meetings. It's a 9 to 5 job during the week for these players. Then they want to go home, spend time with their families, get up and go back to work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the off season, they're trying to wind down, relax, heal their body. So it's tough to get players on the show. When we do, we're very thankful. We're very humble because we understand the schedules that they run. So, but we're always working on it. That I guarantee you. Well, hello, Miss Nikki. How are you?
So, fellas, because I'm still doing writing my essay, this 4-page essay, front back. But I do want to say this, moving forward, again, I apologize for coming in late and have to up and go. Gotta get this bachelor's degree. Fellas, Colts Nation, let's be live. Let's make sure that they can't hear their play callers, and let's just stop Derrick Henry, So again, tell them about the tailgate party Sunday. Please be there and make it live. I'm telling you, you're gonna have fun. Fellas, I love you guys. I'm so sorry, fellas. I'm not trying to dip in like this, but I just gotta get my stuff done, okay?
No, you're good, buddy.
It should have already been done.
It should have been done, but
What the hell you slacking for?
I know, but I love y'all.
Turn that damn PlayStation off.
It's a TV.
Love you, bro.
I love you. It's not PlayStation. I'm playing on PlayStation.
Okay, whatever.
All right, brother. I'm not. Love y'all.
Later, brother.
Love you, man. Well, cat's out of the bag there. I'm sorry, everybody. Too. I mean, I got a busy schedule this week, and I'm trying to hurry and eat. Trying to eat better and everything. But I guess I can share a little bit of what we got. Maybe. Nah, it's gonna fall off the plate here. I got a picture of it.
Craig said 8th grade's tough. For Carver. That's funny.
Let's see. Get it focused in. Maybe not. There we go. Yeah, maybe.
A little bit. Was that meatball?
No, hang on a minute. There we go.
Almost. Is that meatballs?
No, this is a I call this a Cajun Asian dish. I made a steak fried rice, but it's got like Cajun seasonings mixed in with it. So it's really good. A little bit of teriyaki shrimp to go in there with it, and then topped with a fried egg on top.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Ricky. Appreciate you, brother. If you're at the game, come by the tailgate, man. We had a ball last week, and this week we got live music coming out.
Absolutely, Rick. If you're at any game, we'll be there. Swing on by. We'll be happy to host you. Drinks, food. Like P said, music this week. Just come on by.
Now, Nikki, it only sucks that the Chiefs lost if you're a Chiefs fan. But it was a well-deserved Colts win. And boys did play. They played really hard. Hey, and, Kansas City ain't got nothing to be ashamed about. They played a damn good game. Now, was Mahomes off? Yeah, because he went like 25 to 58. Yeah, he completed like 25 or 27 passes to his 58 attempts. That's an off night for that guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Man. But all right. Craig, get off of here. Come on now.
Yeah. When you go
Omaha.
When you go get some maize.
I'll just give you some maize. I'll give both y'all some maize. You see what happens? Like, look, Craig's right. I fed him during Thanksgiving a few years ago. The Indians feeding the white man. Guess what? He hasn't left yet. Son of a bitch. But
you think you done learned that lesson not to feed us, because we stick around when you feed us. We're like a stray dog.
Yeah, I know. Look at you. I invited you to my tailgate. Now look.
That's it. That's all it took. One time.
Nah, I wouldn't change it for the world, brother. But let's get your offensive side of the ball. What's their keys to victory here against the Titans? What do the Colts have to do in order to have victory here?
Well, without jumping on what you guys have already said, I want to go to the execution side of it.
Okay.
Digging into some of the play calls, Frank's not a bad play caller. He knows what the hell's going on in that field. Now, I still haven't changed my stance. I want him to put the clipboard down, and stay focused in the game, run some more plays by the gut, by what he's seeing versus statistical probabilities. I still want to see that. But if I don't get to see it, I'm not going to be too upset, because I have digested and pulled back some layers of his play calling, and they're good. The plays are good. They're sound. It's just our guys are not executing. I want to see everybody on the offense executing, running like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, I said it earlier when Carvey was just on. I don't know what we got to do. Somehow we got to find a way in practice and to bring it onto the field to stay consistent, and execute. I can't preach it enough. That's what we lack. That's what these elite teams do. They execute. I mean, I hate to say it, but what do you think Tom Brady does, or the Patrick Mahomes? Or now these up and coming star quarterbacks. Herbert and all them. Yep. They're executing their plays. And
everybody around them is executing.
Everything's being consistent, and then you got to be consistent in the league.
Yeah,
you got to be consistent in the league.
Now, Miss Nikki, we got a tailgate spot adjacent of Slippery Noodle Inn on the corner. If you guys make it out to another game, I hope you can swing by.
Well, since this has been brought up a few times, I'll do a major announcement real quick. So, everybody, if you go to if everybody goes to our Facebook page, we'll be posting it throughout the week. You can let us know if you're coming. You don't have to, but it lets us know, what to anticipate, for food and everything. But go to our Facebook page and go to our event page as well that we got created. We create one, every home game that we're going to be there tailgating. So go to our Facebook. At our event this week, at our tailgate, the Forge, we will have live music from Patrick's friend. His name is Eric. Remind me of his last name. Pat?
Hamblin.
Eric Hamblin. So he's actually the guy. If y'all have been watching since the beginning of the show, he's the one that does our entrance song. So he'll be there
Our Colts
playing live.
Nation hype song.
Yep. So he'll be there. I'm sure he'll definitely play that maybe 1 or 2 times if you all like that song, but he'll be playing other things as well. Be there entertaining us. We'll have games such as ladder ball, cornhole, and then we're also going to have a full-scale taco bar. Come and make your own tacos any way you want.
I gonna make a fat boy happy.
Hey, you can make tacos, you can make burritos, you can make whatever you want. It's a full-service taco bar. Come have fun. Bang the Anvil. The Colts Nation Anvil will be there as always. We'll have beer. We'll have a little bit of liquor there, mixed drinks. But yeah, just come hang out with us, do some fellowship. You don't got to be a Colts fan. You can be whatever fan. We invite Titans fans since they're going to be there. Or if it's, an NFL game you just want to go to, you're a different fan. Come on. We don't discriminate at the Anvil tailgate. So come on. And I
already know several Titan fans that will be coming. So,
oh yeah. So we just ask if you're able, to contribute anything, contribute what you can. If not, that's okay. But we just ask for contributions so we can continue doing the things that we love, so we can continue to have fun with y'all while we're out there. That's what it's all about, to celebrate the Colts, to celebrate everybody's teams who come, not just the Colts, but, so we can have fun, party, make new friendships. That's why we call it the Forge, y'all. We're forging new relationships, new friendships. So come on to the Forge tailgate, October 2nd at 8 a.m.
I'm going to tackle this question real quick from Ronnie. Gus was asked this in the post-game interview about Nick Cross, and basically he said that McLeod had a better understanding of the schemes they were wanting to play against Kansas City, and with that better understanding came better communication. So that's why McLeod was out there and not Cross. Mm-hmm. Because Gus Bradley thought he was the one that would help with the communication and the schemes better. And with Nick being his rookie year, he just thought it was better that McLeod was out there. And it worked out. He was right.
Absolutely. John Joseph. Yeah, boy. I actually have chili planned for one of these games this year. Maybe when it's a tad bit colder, in the mornings. We'll definitely get some chili rolling up there. So we'll definitely get that going.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Nikki, yes, you can absolutely watch our live show after the broadcast. We usually put out an edited version on the podcast platforms. You can catch it on any podcast platform, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, all that stuff. And then you can go to our YouTube channel as well, subscribe, and you can get all of our content there. We have an interview with Chris Ballard, Curtis Brooks, and much more.
Zaire Franklin,
and just much, much more. All of our shows, past and present. So you're more welcome to go do that. Well, P, we got, we're 48 minutes into this thing. You just want to do a little Q&A? It seems like everybody's got some questions tonight.
Yeah, let's jump into the Q&A and fire away, you guys. Love the chat today. You guys are. I do. You guys are burning it up. Love it.
Absolutely, Nikki. You can watch it on. You can go back and watch it on Facebook as well. Just go to our page and you can find it there. But everybody who's new to the page, I know we have a lot of new followers out there who are watching out there. The Q&A, we usually do Q&A time. We try to do it every week if we can, if we have time. That's where you guys, out there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube world, can just chime in and ask us any questions you want, to get our take on some stuff. And so we wait on your questions and we will answer them accordingly, with what time we have left. So fire away. How many tacos can you eat? P, you want to go first on that one?
It has not been fully counted yet. The count is still going on. I can eat the hell out of some tacos. If anybody wants to challenge me, come to the tailgate and challenge. I'm up for a taco eating challenge.
I'm pretty sure I could eat at least 10. medium-sized tacos.
Ronnie, no, I don't believe he has lost his starting job. He just, with this game plan and the schemes they were wanting to run, they just thought McLeod was the better communicator.
Oh, we skipped Craig's question. P. Sorry.
I know. It's usually about something about Cowboys and Indians, so I just.
Oh, it's actually a legitimate question.
Oh, okay, I'll go back to it then.
Besides the Colts, who do you think is the biggest threat out there? Oh man,
ooh, there's some
This-
real
I'd say-
surprising teams so
I
far.
would say this year, man. I mean, there's a lot of competition in the league this year, and I love it. I mean, look at the Jags. You know, the Chargers were a threat to the AFC West, and look at them blowing them out. Miami, in the top 3 power rankings, man. Obviously there's always KC, there's always Green Bay making a comeback, there's always the Baltimores, but oh man, Miami could be that sleeper team. Pete?
See, I don't call them a sleeper team. I've been seeing this team for a couple years now, and I've been saying, they're trying to build a monster out there. And now they got this young, energetic coach that is really clicking with these players. And these guys are playing lights out. They got a shitload of talent on that team. So does Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. People overlook that because of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but their talent is impressive.
Yeah, now Jacksonville is definitely one I overlooked because I did not think they would be at this level just yet. And if you remember when we had Matthew from Houston on here, that's what we was talking about. And those were the points that I was bringing up, that Jacksonville's got talent, but they're just not on the same page yet. New head coach, second year QB, blah, 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 blah. There's so many different things that was going against them, but I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Them beating us was not a fluke. Them beating the Chargers was not a fluke. They're a good football team and they're well coached. Doug Peterson's done a hell of a job out there. Now, are they going to win the South? No, because that's ours. Are they? But they're going to be competitive.
We got some time coming from Jacksonville here. They're gonna be a new threat to South. They're gonna be the new Tennessee Titans. Here in the next couple of years. Starting this year. We're gonna be going head to head with them. For the years to come, I think they got good young talent, great coaches, great head coach. I love it. I'm happy for Jacksonville. They're finally getting somewhere. I think they're getting some head steam on them there.
All right, Teresa, what do you want to talk about Blankenship?
I was gonna say I love all the questions, guys. Thank you.
All right, Teresa, put what you want to talk about as far as Blankenship. You got to give us some kind of starting point. We can talk about his shoes, his glasses, his automobile. Something. Give us a starting point, and then we'll get back with you. Robert, what do you think needs done on the O-line to be successful? 8 boots in the ass?
A lot of fucking ass chewing.
More than that. Oh, my God. I don't know. Honest to God.
Where do you begin?
Pryor's not bad. Pinter's not bad.
All of them are not bad. They're just
not playing together.
They're not playing together. They're not executing well. They look lost. I'm sorry, but it's looking like, the whole Kyler Murray situation. It's like, y'all even studying your playbook? You know what I mean? It's just they're all over the place.
Linda says, I'm meeting up with Blankenship for lunch. All right, well, good. I've got nothing bad to say about Blankenship. I hope he gets another job somewhere.
I do.
How long does Chris who?
I think he's talking about Chris Ballard. I think he's talking about CB.
Oh. Yeah, that would be the worst mistake we can ever do is put Chris Ballard on the hot seat. So now you got to hold him accountable. And he, believe it or not, he's been on this show and he'll flat tell you, I want you guys to hold me accountable. I want you guys to tell me how you're feeling,
But his thing is, he's like, do all that. But the key thing is for you all to do out there is to stay patient. He couldn't do that. Say that enough about being patient. So continue to be patient. As long as we keep looking in the right direction, Chris Ballard's here to stay, and I hope he is.
Yeah, absolutely. John, my feelings about the right guard position is the same throughout the entire line. Nobody has been solid. Even Q. He's let a couple pressures come through, and that's uncharacteristic. Now, what it is that got these guys playing like shit, I don't know. What's it going to take? I don't know. To get them playing better? I don't know. But I'm not blaming just the right guard or the left tackle. Braden Smith has let a shitload of people come through. Ryan Kelly has let a shitload of people come through. Quentin Nelson's let a couple people come through. Pryor has let a shitload of people come through. Where do you start? I don't know. You would. I honestly don't know. Something's got to start clicking in these guys and getting these guys playing as a unit.
I mean, it's two different levels, P. But back when I played football in my high school days, if we were not functioning well as a unit and we could not figure out what's wrong, we'd go back to the basics. We'd go back to the fundamentals, and maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe they need to start going back, and learning fundamental football again, but at a professional level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Craig wants to know who's your second team is that you root for, country.
Your mom.
That was my answer too, Craig. you cut either one of us, and blue's coming out of our veins. We have no second team.
Just saying, Craig, it is you. You are my brother. So I'm going to say what I want to you on here, buddy. John Joseph said, I think the chemistry is just off. And I mean, I couldn't agree more.
Teresa, why? Why did you say why?
I think what she's wanting to know,
miss something?
Yeah, she asked the Blankenship question. What do you think about Blankenship? Or what's your thoughts on Blankenship? I think she just wants to know, how we feel about him leaving and how he left.
Oh. I didn't agree with it. And I said that earlier, but just because I don't agree with something doesn't mean that I'm going to be right or I'm going to be wrong, because I trust Ballard. And if Ballard thought that was the right move, then I'm going to stick with that. And I'll keep my guns with Chris Ballard. And then the man is a freaking genius. And if he cuts you for some reason, there's a reason. It ain't just because you got glasses on or you're skinny as a toothpick. You weren't doing your job, or you weren't upholding your end of the deal in the locker room, or, this or that. And we don't get all the information like a fly on the wall. So if he deemed it necessary, even if I don't agree with it or do agree with it, I'm going to take whatever he does as gold, because he's 1,000 times smarter than me. So,
absolutely. Oh, and Sean said, just to clarify, guys, I was talking about the offensive line coach being on the hot seat, not Chris Ballard. Oh, okay. How about you were calling him Chris Stresser or something, and got a typo in there? I mean, just with the offensive line coach, we haven't heard a whole lot out of him, as far as what we can hear. Obviously, we're at the mercy of whatever is shown to us. And, anything's possible at this point. Is he the problem? He shouldn't be. He's got 3 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line. What's the excuse? You know what I mean?
His excuse or the line's excuse? Is it his job to get these guys gelling together?
It is. That's what I'm saying.
So maybe he should be on the hot seat.
It's a give and take. He should find ways to get these guys in sync, and these guys should find a way to execute. But
yeah,
anything is possible.
Well, let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Who's the special teams coach?
Bubba.
You know what he looks like? No, do you know what he looks like? Have you seen him before?
Yeah,
Yeah. Why? Because he's out there coaching his ass off.
he is.
I couldn't.
That's a good
He
point.
didn't make a typo. That's the offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even tell you what he looks like if he was standing next to me.
This is true.
So maybe there's something there.
There could be. Good take, Sean.
Oh, okay. Teresa says, I want your opinion on why. I don't have too much of my own opinion on the why, but what I have read and listened to from people a lot smarter than me was his
That's a lot of people.
It's a shitload of people. I think there's like 2 people dumber than me on the entire world. So,
Oh, get out of here.
From what I was reading, there was a lot of tendencies and trends going that way. And then when he missed that kick in Jacksonville, they was like, that's it. You know, we're not going to allow this to continue. We did it once with Adam Vinatieri, and we lost games that we shouldn't have. We missed the playoffs, and we shouldn't have. We're not doing it again. So that is the why that I know. It's not necessarily my opinion of why, because I wouldn't have fired him. I wouldn't have cut him. But from what I read, there was a lot of tendencies that he was leaning towards that was saying there was going to be more missed kicks. And it was just unacceptable to the organization.
Absolutely. All right, I guess we'll tackle this one last question, and then we'll go to final thoughts. Pete, Ronnie said, what do you think about Shaq celebrating on the sideline, jumping around, acting crazy, but him not playing? We tackled this a little bit ago, Ronnie. It's all about the doctor's decision. He can say he feels good all he wants, but he's going to get clearance, from the professionals first before he does anything. And I mean, if he feels good enough, I mean, personally, to him, he's good enough to play. He wants to play. Believe me, he's out there pacing the sideline, out there, praying, on the sideline. He really wants to get out there and play. Believe me, he does. That's just how he is. But he's just, he's doing the process correctly, and he wants to get clearance from his doctors and the team doctors and stuff first.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is coming from the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
That
ain't him.
They want him 100% healthy for a push to the playoff, for a push into the Super Bowl. They don't want him to go out too early, re-aggravated. Back surgeries are nothing to sneeze at.
No matter what level of back surgery there. I preach that, since he's had it, when they said he'd be back at the beginning of training camp, and that was like what, 2 or 3 weeks away at the time of his surgery. It's like, you're not going to recover from a back surgery. I don't care how little invasive it is. Back surgery is back surgery. You can't rush it.
No. And I've had 2 of them. So I can absolutely contest to that. And even though you can stand upright, you can walk, there's a lot of things that you can't do, because when they go in there, they're cutting things, and that core that you have in your front and your back at the midsection is not the same. It takes a while for that core to gel back together and get strong enough for you to be the human that you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, he played at such an elite level, they got to make sure he's okay. I mean, because look at this, look at the scrappiness that he brings to the table, the peanut punches, the aggressive tackling, the pursuit to the ball, his speed, his strength. They got to have all that at 100% when he comes back. Because everybody knows in the NFL, once you feel 100%, you're not going to feel 100% ever again in the league. And he said he feels better than since he has his rookie year. So, from once he starts playing, it's going to deteriorate down and down and down. He's going to be, when he says he feels good, he might feel good, but he might only be 80%, in week 10 or 8. You never know. You know,
Yeah.
they talk about that all the time. So they got to make sure he's good to go and strong enough to withstand the rest of the season, because we have still a lot to go, a lot of competitive games to go, a lot of big games to go. I mean,
Absolutely.
we still have the second half of the division coming back to back to back again, except for the Texans at the end of the year. So we got to make sure he's ready.
Yep. Linda, we did hear the same thing about Blankenship kicking for the Jags or trying out. And I hope he gets it. I hope he gets another job. Like I said, I've never disliked the guy, you know, but there's players that we interact with quite frequently, but he's not one of them. So I can't, you know, say, oh, he's a hell of a good guy. He's this, he's that, you know, because we kind of know some of these players personally, but he's not one of them. He's, you know, did the head bob thing a couple times as in passing, but that's it. You know, I can't say that I actually sit and, you know, got to talk with him, got to know him, things of that nature. But I don't have nothing bad against him, you know, so I want him to get another job.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a great dude. My wife loves him to death. You know, he's a real true underdog story. So I wish him nothing but the best. You know, he came from Georgia's from a walk-on, got a scholarship to coming into the league, you know, drafted. So I hope nothing but the best for him.
Yeah, you just covered Ronnie's question there, didn't you?
Yeah. But all right, guys.
No, Craig, we need McAfee on the side, keep getting these guys fired up. Is where we need McAfee at.
All right, guys. As P goes to the comments here, I want to thank you, each and every one of y'all, for y'all's questions. That was awesome. We haven't had a Q&A like that in a while, so thank you for all your questions, keeping us on our toes. We love it to death. We love y'all to death. But unfortunately, our time is cut here, so we're going to get into our final thoughts real quick, and we're going to get out of here. So, Big P, what are your final thoughts for tonight, brother?
My final thoughts is I can't wait for the next tailgate event. It is going to be off the chain because last week it was off the chain. It was so much fun doing the anvil shots, banging on an anvil. Hey, and let you guys know, and you can pass this around, the Colts are undefeated ever since we started banging the anvil. Just keep that in mind. So the more people bang it, the more games we're going to win.
Braxton said, when are you going to bring me?
Well, that's a discussion we're going to have for later, young man.
Yes, sir. So my final thoughts
that's
are,
that's my grandson.
I got you. We'll get you out there, buddy. Don't worry. But my final thoughts are, yes.
You got a fall break coming up. Maybe we can get to a game then. Did you ever find the dates though? So anyway, call me after the show. After we turn the cameras off, not during. He usually calls me during.
Yeah,
he's a good kid though. Love him to death.
Oh yeah. But anyway, guys, my final thoughts are yes. Come to our tailgate. We have lots of fun. Anvil shots all around. You know, drinking, laughing. You know, it's nothing but good vibes there. But my take is, you know, come ready, come prepared, come to be loud. Not when the offense is on the field, though. You know, let's have some fun. Oops. Let's have some fun.
You're having some fun now, aren't you? Spilling your beer.
No, that was my fork. Someone's coming home. But anyway, everybody. But yeah, everybody who's coming, we can't wait to see y'all at our tailgate. We can't wait to see y'all in the stadium. If you happen to walk by in the stadium, you can't make it to the tailgate, don't be afraid to walk up, say hi, get a picture. Big P will give you a hug, you know, whatever that y'all want to do. So y'all stay safe, no drinking and driving. Stay blessed, stay pretty. We love y'all to death. We'll see you out there. Go Colts.
Go Colts.